Hello everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we will look at some more functions to work with arrays. We will look at a function which will help us determine the lower index of an array, then upper index of an array, and also look at a function which will help us determine if a given variable is an array or not. And then we will look at how we can erase the whole array. Let us jump in. We'll start with the very first script, which is arrays07, which is lborn and uborn. Click that, and then let us quickly go over the script. It's a very simple script. All I did here is declared few variables and an array and populated the array with some numbers. And then on line 20, what I have is I'm assigning a certain value to the lower index variable. And I'm using the function lborn and passing the array name. So that function will return the lower index of that array, and the lower index is obviously 0. The next one, which is line 21, what I have is upper index equal to uborn, and then I have the array name. This will return the upper index of the array, which would be 4. And on line 23, I'm printing this message out on the screen, lower index is, which would be 0. And then line 24 would print upper index is, and it would be 4 because we know that it is 4. Let me run the script. Okay, it is the lower index is 0, upper index is 4. Well, that worked. Now let us look at the next script, which will kind of demo you the process of determining if a given array is array or not. And the function for that is array. Again, here I just declared some variables, and I have an array declared here on line 11, and I populated it with a couple of values there. And all I did was here on 17, all I'm saying is, there's a little text here. It says, check if a nums is an array, and I'm checking it here, and again I say the same thing, which I should correct it. It should rather be num1. Check if num1 is an array, and I'm using the function isArray and passing num1 here, and on line 17 I'm passing arr nums. So let me run the script. For the first one, this is coming from line 17, which it says checking if arr nums is an array, and the returned value is true, and we know that that's an array. And for the next one, what we have is false. And by the way, this comes handy when you're working with real-time projects, and if you're trying to use certain variables and you want to really make sure if the given variable is an array or not, and you can determine using this function. Well, let's move on to the next one, which is erase. And even this comes handy when you are trying to load certain variables or refresh certain arrays in between the execution, somewhere in between, depending on the need. You can do this. So in the script, all I have is a variable declared, and then as you can see, I am using array function to assign this whole list to this particular variable, and that becomes an array. And on line 13 it says checkpoint A, and then we are printing arr animals with index 1, which would be tiger, and then I'm doing this, I'm erasing it, and then I'm saying checkpoint B, I said erased, and then I'm trying to print the same thing again. So if line 15 worked as expected, then we would see tiger the first time, and then we should not see it the second time. I mean, when it tries to print a message box using line 17. But if for whatever reason, if this did not work, maybe it will error out there, or maybe it will display tiger again. Let's take a look at it. So we have checkpoint A, that's coming from line 13. Okay, tiger as expected, index 1, 0, 1. We got tiger out from line 17. sorry, line 14. And next we have this checkpoint B, which is 16. It's just a string. And then try to OK. Then we have an error which says subscript out of range. We don't have it because we, this line number 15 worked just fine. It was able to erase that particular array. And this comes handy when you are working with scripts in such a way that somehow you built an array, and moving forward in the execution you want to empty it out because you don't want some other functions accidentally pick up that particular array and do something else. That's where this comes handy. So whenever you need to clear something out, just use array, erase that array name, and everything is cleared. Well guys, that's it in this lecture. So what did we do in this lecture? We looked at lbound, ubound, isArray, and erase functions. Well, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll talk about a filter. See you there.